Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Please let me know if you can hear me. Hi, Christina. Welcome. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a very, very blessed day. We're going to go ahead and get started in a minute. I want to welcome you. I'm going to go ahead and get started to respect your time. I want to welcome you to this women's circle on being single again, creating sacred space in solitude. I want to welcome you to this sacred circle, and I honor you for being here today, for showing up in this tender, very tender season of your life. So I want to take a moment to arrive in the space. And we're going to do that by placing our hands over our heart. Heart, placing our hands over our heart just signifies that we're connecting to ourselves in this sacred time. And just feel your breath. Beautiful, beautiful breath. You are not alone. Even in your solitude, you are held there. Today, we gather as women who are walking the path of being single again, whether through divorce, someone passing away, separation, or even by choice. Whether this singleness feels like liberation or a loss, relief or grief, all of these things at once. All of these emotions are welcome here in this space. All pieces and parts of you are welcome here. Let's take 3 deep breaths together, breathing in presence and breathing out whatever you need to release in this moment. Take a deep breath in and out. Again, breathing in and release. Last time, breathing in and release. Just grounding into the space, into our bodies, into this beautiful moment. There is something very profoundly sacred about being single again after a partnership. It's a threshold, it's a crossing over, it's an invitation into a new version of yourself. Maybe you did not choose this, or maybe your person passed on to the realm of the ancestors, and the silence in your home is deafening. Maybe you walked away from something that was breaking you, and now you're learning to be whole again without that person. Maybe you were left and you're rebuilding your life piece by piece. Maybe you chose this freedom and you're rediscovering who you are outside of we. However, you arrived here in this space, you are here, and that takes a lot of courage. One thing about our world is not always kind. It's not always kind to women who are single. We are always asked, why are you alone? As if solitude is something to fix, as if a woman by herself is incomplete, as if we need someone else to make our lives sacred. But what if being single again is not a void for us to feel, right? What if it's actually an invitation from the universe, an invitation to come home to ourselves, to create a life that is entirely, unapologetically ours? And that's beautiful, to build a sanctuary for ourselves in the solitude. So today we're going to explore what it means to be single and sacred, to transform loneliness into solitude, to create rituals, a rhythm, and a home that holds you tenderly, to remember that you are whole all by yourself. You're not waiting to be chosen. You're not half of something. You are complete. And I want to acknowledge you in the chat. Hi, Jen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Diana, a long time ago, I was dining alone. A married man with his kid asked, "Where's your better half?" Oh my goodness. I said, "My whole self is here." I know that's right. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for speaking that truth in the circle. So, for this guided meditation, I want you to get comfortable. I have my blankets here. I love blankets and pillows. You can close your eyes if you choose. Do whatever resonates with you, or you can just soften and lower your gaze. Place both hands on your heart and take a deep breath and feel yourself exactly where you are, in your body, in your space, in this moment. Now, imagine yourself walking up to the front door of your home. Maybe it's the home you live in now, or maybe it's a home that exists in your heart, a place that feels entirely yours. You stand at the threshold of this home and you take a deep breath. This is your space. It's your sanctuary. No one else's energy lives here unless you invited in. Now, I want you to open the door and step inside. Feel the air, notice the light around you. This space is quiet, it is peaceful, it is waiting all for you. For so long, maybe you shaped your life around someone else. You adjusted your rhythms to match theirs. You made space for their needs, their moods, their presence. You became smaller or louder or different than who you really are. But now you are alone. And in this solitude, there is a question that is waiting for you. Who am I when no one is watching? Who am I when I do not have to perform, please, or adjust? Who am I in the quiet? Now place your hand on your belly and just breathe. This is where your truth lives, beneath all of the roles that you have played, beneath the identities that you have worn. There is a woman who has always been here, waiting for you to come home. Now, imagine walking through your home, your sacred space. You move through each room slowly and intentionally. What do you notice in your sacred space? What feels like you? What still carries someone else's energy? Maybe there are things that need to be released. Maybe there are photos that need to come down, furniture that needs to be rearranged, spaces that need to be reclaimed. Or maybe it's not about the physical space at all. Maybe it's about the internal space. The way you've been living in survival mode, in grief mode, or maybe in waiting mode. What if you stopped waiting? What if you stopped preparing for someone to come back or someone new to arrive or life to go back to the way that it was? What if you said, "This is my life right here, right now, and I am going to make it sacred"? Now, imagine yourself standing in the center of your home, and your arms are open wide. You speak out loud or in your heart, "I am here. I am whole. I am enough. This space is mine. This life is mine. I am not waiting anymore. I am living." Now feel what it's like to claim your space, to claim your life, to stop shrinking, stop apologizing, stop feeling like you're less than because you're alone. You are not alone. You are with yourself, and that is sacred. Now imagine filling your home, this beautiful home, with nothing but your beautiful energy, your favorite scent, your favorite music. I love music. Your favorite colors, the things that make you feel more alive. Imagine creating an altar in your space, a small corner that is just for you, a place to pray, to grieve, to dream, to remember who you are. This is your sanctuary. You are the priestess of your own life. You are the keeper of your own heart. Now let's take a deep breath in and begin to come back into your space. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feel yourself here in the present moment, now in your body. And when you're ready, and only when you are ready, you can slowly blink your eyes open. I would love to hear what came up for you in this meditation, if anything. Also, know that you are free to share. And if you don't, that is also fine. But this is totally your space and your time. And I appreciate you for taking out your time to heal and practice self care for yourself. You're welcome, Diana. Thank you. I'm reading this book on Becoming Her, the Power of Femininity. And it is very, very empowering to read this book. One thing I want to read says, "You are not here to function like a machine. You are here to flow like a river, to rise and recede like the tide, and to follow the pulse of your own becoming." Feminine embodiment is not something you perform for others. It is the way you return to yourself again and again through gentleness, feeling, and the power of your inner presence. Just beautiful, beautifully said. Beautifully said. So now we're going to move on to our journaling exercise. So grab your journal and we're going to move into reflection. So I'm going to offer you some prompts and write whatever wants to come through. I always say no editing, no judging, just trust the process. And I'm going to place these in the chat as well. But the first prompt is, how did I arrive at being single again? What is the story I'm carrying about this? I'm going to put that in the chat. So definitely write this without shame, just the truth of the experience for you. And the second writing prompt is, what am I grieving? Be honest. Maybe it's the person, maybe it's the future you imagine with this person. Maybe it's the identity of being partnered with someone. Maybe it's the companionship. All of it is valid. Let's see. The chat is so small. It doesn't want to take the whole question. Let's see. There we go. Yep. So, second prompt is, what am I grieving? The third writing prompt is, what am I discovering about myself in the solitude? What is becoming possible now that I'm alone? The fourth writing prompt is, what does sacred space mean to me? What would it look like to create a home, a life, a rhythm that feels completely mine? And the last prompt, I love journaling, love it. It helps me get a lot of my emotions out on paper. But the last one is complete this sentence. I am no longer waiting for blank. Instead, I am choosing blank. Take your time, let the words flow. There's no rush. I'm going to give 10 minutes for just journaling and reflecting on these questions, and then we can come back together. And please, if you feel like sharing, please do. And if you don't, that is also welcome here in this space. I'm going to play some gentle music while we journal. And we are back. Isn't journaling amazing? I just completely zone out. I would love to hear what came up for you in the journaling. You can feel free to just share one prompt or multiple. I know one thing that I discovered about myself in solitude was definitely I wasn't into a lot of the things that he was into. I kind of rediscovered myself. A lot of things I put on the back burner, I stopped doing for myself because, as women, we always want to put everybody else before us. And now, what I find possible in this space is picking back up all of my passions that I dropped on the floor. Investing that time and energy into myself, self care, studying. I love to do a lot of self study, even sleeping. Sleeping is revolutionary, taking naps. Well, if you feel like sharing later, that would be great. I am definitely here for it. I'm going to keep the circle going. And now we're going to, in our space, our journals, we're going to take a deep breath and place our hand or hands on your journal, honoring what you just wrote in these pages. Now, let's move into a simple ritual that you can take with you beyond this circle. It's a practice for creating sacred space in your solitude. So, the first step to doing this is definitely going to be clear the energy. When you're single again, especially after a relationship ends, there can be residual energy in your space, like grief, anger, memories, old patterns. And with the old patterns, sometimes they'll come up, and I'm like, oh, when did I ever get into that? That doesn't sound like me. So this week, I invite you to clear your space. You can do this physically by cleaning, rearranging, or releasing items that no longer serve you because those items hold a lot of energy. You can do this energetically by opening windows, burning Palo Santo, or simply clapping in the corners of each room. If you have an instrument, playing an instrument, a rattle in the corners of your room to break up stagnant energy. Some people like using sage, but I love sage. There's a time and a place for sage, as well as other cleansing tools like Palo Santo. So if it's, the energy in your atmosphere is heavy enough for sage, definitely light it up, burn it, and open a window or a door to let that energy flow from your space. The second step into clearing your home would be creating like a little sacred altar. You can find a small corner, a windowsill, a shelf, any surface that can be called yours. This is your altar, your sacred space within your sacred space, which is your home. You can place items that represent who you are and who you are becoming. It can be a candle for your inner light, fresh flowers or plants for growth and beauty. I love, love, love fresh flowers. Crystals that resonate with you, stones, shells that ground you, any mementos that are important to you, photos of yourself, not of other people, but photos of yourself, because this is about you and your healing journey. It's not about anybody else. And anything that makes you feel connected to yourself, to spirit, or to your ancestors. This altar is where you come to pray, to grieve, to dream, to check in with yourself, to scream, to journal, to write, to reflect, listen to music. It's a physical reminder that you are not forgotten and you are not invisible. You are here and you matter. Um, I know my altar is my grounding space. I definitely, when I was going through a lot of challenges, I would just go there and just grieve my old self. Like, oh, um, I don't feel the same as I used to. I'm transitioning and morphing into this woman that I didn't know. I was bedridden and I was sick. But, if you told me then that my altar would be my grounding space, my ground zero, where I can go cry, I can go scream, yell, and feel whatever way I wanted to, and heal in that same place, it's definitely, oh my gosh, definitely possible. So it's now when I go there, it's just my sacred space, my solitude, you know? And the next step would be establishing sacred rhythms. Living alone means that you get to create your own rhythms now. No one else's schedule you got to worry about, no one else's needs, just your own personal needs. So, what rituals want to live in your life? What rituals did you give away when you were in this partnership with somebody else? Maybe it's time to reclaim those personal rituals that you once had. Maybe it's coffee in the morning in complete silence. Maybe it's dancing, you know, dancing in your birthday suit in your living room by yourself. Maybe it's singing, you know, singing at the top of your lungs in your living room in your birthday suit. Maybe it's lighting a candle every evening and journaling, writing, in your journal. I love to reflect on gratitude at the end of the day and write, three things that I am grateful for in my journal to end my day before doing like a sleep meditation and going to bed. You know, I try to reset by waking up in the morning with gratitude, Lunchtime, I'm like, okay, let me stop, Alonia. What are you grateful for at this time? And at night, wrap up with what I'm grateful for. Maybe it's also something like a Sunday, going to the Sunday morning market by yourself, right? Going to the store by yourself. Maybe it's taking a long bath with no interruptions. What ritual did you have for yourself that you can reclaim? So choose one of these sacred rhythms or rituals, one thing that you do just for you that makes you feel good and that makes your solitude feel less lonely and more like a sanctuary. And the first step is speaking, and this is so big, speaking blessings over your space. Like standing in the center of your home, placing your hands on your heart or raising them above your head, singing into the atmosphere, and just speaking affirming words in your environment, playing beautiful music in your environment, meditation music, any music that you like, playing that in your environment. Or even I want to offer you like something that maybe you can say in your spaces. This is my home. This is my sanctuary. I am safe here. I am held here. I am enough here. I bless this space with peace, with healing, with softness, with rest. May all who enter into this space, which is my home, feel love. May I always remember that I am home when I am with myself. Environment, environment, environment is so important, so important. And I always say when it feels stagnant and it's like, oh, it feels a little negative in there, light you up some Palo Santo and cleanse that space. Speak affirming words into the atmosphere. Clap your hands, break it up, open some windows, open some doors, and let the light shine in. So, with all of that, take a breath, right? You've just claimed your space and you have just claimed your life. So, being single again is definitely not a season to rush through. It's not something to fix. It's not anything to escape from. It's an opportunity for you to remember yourself. It's an opportunity for you to remember and reconnect with your femininity. We've always been programmed to hustle, 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 rush, 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 push your emotions to the side. Your emotions are not welcome here right now. You're weak or soft if you cry, but your strength is actually found when you reconnect with these pieces of yourself and you become more embodied and more feminine and more powerful in your walk in the earth. Yes, there will be lonely nights. Yes, there may be grief. And yes, there may be moments when you wish someone else was there. And there will also be moments of profound peace, moments when you realize you can breathe again. You can watch what you want to watch, right? Eat what you want to eat. Moments when you discover parts of yourself that you had forgotten. And reconnecting to those parts of yourself is a beautiful, beautiful process. It's a homecoming for your mind, body, and spirit. Moments when you feel more whole alone than you ever did in partnership. You are not less than because you are single. You are not incomplete, and you are not waiting for your life to start when someone finds you. Your life is happening right now in the present, and is very sacred. Solitude isn't a punishment, it's a gift, it's a portal. It's a portal to a new version of you. It's a return to yourself. So if you are here tonight and you're in the thick of this, right? If you're just raw with grief, if you're angry, if you're terrified of always being alone, I I see you. And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be in the hard part. But please hear this, you will not feel this way forever. I'm not going to feel this way forever. And on the other side of this threshold is a version of you who is stronger, softer, more rooted, more grounded, and definitely more free. And you are becoming her. And that's ironic because this book I'm reading is called Becoming Her. I'm telling you, this it's a really, really, really good book. So I'm going to read from my affirmation deck after I close the circle, but I'm going to close the circle with a blessing. Place both hands on your heart. Feel your heartbeat. You are alive. You are here. You are whole. And I'm going to speak a blessing over you and let it land wherever it needs to land. I am not alone. I am with myself, and that is sacred. I am not broken. I am breaking open into something new. I honor my grief and I honor my freedom. I release the need to be chosen. I choose myself. My solitude is not empty, it is full of possibility. I am the priestess of my own life. I create sacred space wherever I am. I am home when I am with myself. Well, let's take one final deep breath together. And now bow to yourself, to your courage, to your resilience, to your tender heart. And let's rub our hands together, activating the chakras in our hands. And just offer yourself safe, loving touch. Give yourself a big hug for being in the circle. let out a sigh of relief. You did a lot of deep sacred work here. And I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for honoring this season of your life. You're not walking this path alone. We are with you. And until we meet again, walk gently, rest very deeply, and create beauty in your solitude. And I always say, peace be with you always, wherever you may go. And I am going to draw a self care affirmation card, something to think about and reflect on for the remainder of the week until we come into circle again. So the card I chose is choice. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there we go. Choice. And it says, worry less about making the right choice and more about being strong enough to handle any outcome. Beautiful. Absolutely. Hi, Rita. Right, Nikki. That is like very, very spot on. Yes. And also, if you don't follow me here, that's my little card right there. Feel free to follow me. I have a lot of guided meditations, courses, a lot of stuff out there, even a little group if you need support in the group. I am here for you. Um, I didn't have anything planned for next week, but the week after. But I think I'm going to do something next week. I really mirror work, doing work in front of a mirror and speaking affirmations to ourselves resonated with me this week. So I think I might schedule something for that. To speak some good life into ourselves. Definitely going into the holiday season and being around family and things like that. So, yes. So, thank you so much for joining me. It's a blessing to be in your presence always. And I will see you next time. Bye. Mels. You didn't forget what? Oh, I'm good. I'm done now. It was great. Whoa. I know, right? You're so great. You so funny.